What if I told you that Ty Borden's story might not be over yet? After years of heartbreak and questions, new hints and theories are sparking serious buzz among Heartland fans. Is Ty really coming back in season 19? And if so, how? Let's break down everything you need to know starting from the very beginning. Ty Borden wasn't just another character in Heartland, he was the heart of the show for many fans. From the moment he arrived at the ranch as a troubled teen, viewers knew there was something special about him. His bond with horses, his quiet strength, and his rough background made him both interesting and relatable. Over the seasons, we watched him grow from a lost boy into a mature man, someone who could take responsibility, love deeply, and protect his family with everything he had. Ty's story started with a second chance. After getting into trouble with the law, he was sent to Heartland to work off his sentence. But what was meant to be a punishment turned into the greatest blessing of his life. He found a new home, a new purpose, and a new kind of family in the Flemings. Amy, especially, changed his world. At first, they were unsure of each other, but over time, their friendship turned into love slowly, sweetly, and powerfully. Their relationship was never perfect, but that's what made it real. They went through ups and downs, breakups and reunions, but they always found their way back to each other. One of the biggest moments in Heartland history was when Ty and Amy got married. It was something fans had been waiting for, and it didn't disappoint. Watching them say "I do" in front of the family, the horses, and the open sky felt like a reward for years of emotional investment. Soon after, they welcomed baby Lyndy into their lives, a perfect symbol of their love and a new beginning for their little family. Ty embraced fatherhood with the same quiet strength he'd always shown. He was patient, kind, and completely devoted to both Amy and Lyndy. But then came the tragedy that changed everything. In season 13's final episode, Ty was accidentally shot while helping a horse. At first, it seemed like he would recover. But in season 14's shocking first episode, he suddenly collapsed and died from complications caused by a blood clot. It was one of the most heartbreaking scenes in Heartland history. Fans were left in disbelief. The man who had come so far, who had built a life filled with love and purpose, was suddenly gone. Ty's death didn't just break Amy's heart, it shook the entire Heartland fanbase. Some viewers couldn't continue watching the show. Others felt angry or confused, and many still haven't fully accepted it. That's because Ty wasn't just part of the story, he was part of the soul of the show. His loss left a hole that can't easily be filled. Amy's grief, and the way she tried to move forward while raising Lyndy alone, gave the show a more serious and emotional tone in later seasons. Still, even after all this time, fans keep asking the same question. Is Ty really gone for good? Or is there a chance he could come back somehow in some form? That question is at the heart of season 19's biggest buzz. And it's what we'll explore next. After the emotional roller coaster of the past few seasons, fans were holding their breath, wondering if Heartland would even return. And then it happened. Season 19 was officially confirmed. That news alone sparked waves of excitement across fan groups, social media pages, and forums. For a show that started all the way back in 2007, making it to a 19th season is something truly rare, and it's not just continuing, it's building towards something big. So, what do we know so far about Heartland season 19? First, the core cast is back. That means Amber Marshall as Amy Fleming, Sean Johnston as Grandpa Jack, Michelle Morgan as Lou, and Chris Potter as Tim. There are also strong signs that Alicia Newton will return as Georgie, especially after her reappearance last season and how fans reacted to it. These familiar faces bring a sense of comfort, but also hint at unfinished stories, especially for characters like Amy and Lyndy, who are still healing. We've also seen signs that season 19 might be more emotional and personal than ever before. According to a few behind-the-scenes photos and cast interviews, the new episodes will dive deep into how the family is moving forward and what they're still struggling to let go of. Amy, especially, seems to be facing new challenges, ones that tie back to her past. And that's exactly where the rumors of Ty Borden's return start to get interesting. Asterisk, but let's hold that thought for a moment. Production has been underway for months, and fans have spotted several key clues that give us a sneak peek into what's coming. There have been images shared from the set that show Lyndy spending more time around the horses, possibly taking on a bigger role in the story. Other hints suggest that Amy is starting to train horses again, not just as work, but as a way of reconnecting with herself. It's clear the writers want to take her full circle, from grief to growth. Asterisk, there are also whispers about a new character joining the ranch, someone young and struggling, just like Ty was back in season 1. This has led some fans to believe that this storyline may act as a mirror to the past. It could be Heartland's way of showing that healing doesn't mean forgetting. In fact, it could be their way of honoring Ty's legacy by bringing in a new soul who needs saving just like Ty once did. Asterisk, then there's Jack. He's been the emotional anchor of Heartland since day one, and in season 19, he seems to be taking on an even more protective role. Some reports suggest that Jack may become a mentor again, possibly to this rumored new ranch hand. That would bring things full circle in a beautiful way, passing on the wisdom that once helped Ty to someone new. And if that's true, it would also make a potential Ty appearance, whether in flashbacks, dreams, or memories, even more powerful. Asterisk, behind the scenes, the creators of the show have said they want season 19 to bring Heartland back to its roots. That means more stories centered around family, horses, love, and healing. But it also means dealing with the past, not ignoring it, and Ty Borden is a huge part of that past. While no one is saying officially that he's coming back, the fact that his name keeps coming up both in the show and in fan circles is no coincidence. Asterisk, so far, there has been no official confirmation from Graham Wardle, the actor who played Ty, about returning on screen. However, he has recently been more vocal in the Heartland fan community. On his personal podcast and in interviews, he's talked about the impact Ty had on his life and how deeply he appreciates the fans who still care so much about the character. He hasn't ruled anything out, and that alone has kept hope alive. Asterisk, to sum it up, season 19 looks like it's going to be a turning point. It's not just another chapter, it's a chance to bring back the emotion, connection, and storytelling that made Heartland so special in the first place. And whether Ty appears physically or just in memory, his presence is still felt. That brings us to the big question. Could Ty actually return? What form would that take? Let's look at the biggest theories next. Asterisk, the idea of Ty Borden returning in season 19 has taken over fan discussions everywhere. On YouTube, Reddit, Facebook groups, and podcasts, people are asking, could Ty actually come back? At first, it seems impossible. After all, we saw him die in Amy's arms. It was final. It was heartbreaking. But when it comes to long-running TV shows, especially one like Heartland, nothing is ever truly impossible. There are more ways than one to bring a character back, and fans have come up with some very convincing theories. Asterisk, let's start with the most likely option, Ty returning in a dream or vision. This would allow Graham Wardle to appear in a short but powerful scene without undoing his character's death. It would make sense emotionally, especially if Amy is going through a major life change. Maybe she's struggling with a decision, or maybe Lyndy is asking questions about her father. A dream could show Ty offering guidance or simply being there for her in a moment of need. Heartland has used this storytelling style before, and it could be a respectful, moving way to honor Ty's role in Amy's life. Asterisk, another popular theory is that we'll see flashbacks. These could be scenes from Ty's past that we've never seen before, like moments with baby Lyndy, private conversations with Jack, or even memories from Amy's point of view. These flashbacks could be used to fill in emotional gaps, especially as Lyndy grows older and starts asking about her dad. It would be a beautiful way to show the lasting impact Ty had on everyone around him, while giving fans something new to hold on to. Asterisk, there's also talk about Ty returning through letters or videos he left behind. Think about it, Ty was a thoughtful person. Maybe he recorded something for Lyndy when she was born. Or maybe he wrote a letter for Amy, just in case something ever happened to him. This kind of reveal would be emotional and powerful. It wouldn't break the realism of the show, but it would allow Ty's voice to be heard again, even hearing Graham Wardle's voice in the background reading a letter or narrating a memory could be enough to bring fans to tears. Asterisk. Now, let's look at the wildest theory, but the one that refuses to go away. What if Ty never died at all? Some fans believe that the whole death scene was either misunderstood, staged, or somehow reversible. Maybe there was a medical mix-up. Maybe he had to disappear to protect his family. These are dramatic ideas, and they sound more like something out of a soap opera than Heartland. But the fact that people are still hoping for a full resurrection shows how deeply connected they are to Ty's character. Even if this theory is unlikely, it proves one thing: the door isn't fully closed in the minds of the fans. There's also another layer to consider: Lyndy's emotional connection to her dad. She's growing up, and she's asking bigger questions. Could she have dreams of her father? Could she start seeing him in moments that matter, like a guiding spirit? That would allow Ty to return without breaking the logic of the show. It would also shift the focus from Amy's grief to Lyndy's journey. In fact, season 19 might explore how a child copes with the idea of a parent she barely remembers. And Ty, even in spirit, could be part of that. Let's not forget that Amy has never fully moved on. Sure, she's trying to live for her daughter and keep the ranch going, but every season since Ty's death has shown that he's still in her heart. Every moment with Lyndy, every horse she trains, every memory she revisits, it all leads back to Ty. That's why a return in any form, even just for one scene, could be the emotional breakthrough she needs. It wouldn't be about romance anymore. It would be about healing, closure, and love that lasts beyond life. There are also real-world signs that something may be in the works. Graham Wardle has stayed close to the Heartland community. His podcast, Time Has Come, often talks about change, growth, and letting go of the past. But every now and then, he hints at how much he still loves the character of Ty. In one episode, he said he was grateful to have been part of something so meaningful. But he also added, "You never know what the future holds." That one sentence set off a storm of speculation. Heartland is not a show that makes changes lightly. Every character arc is carefully built, and every emotional moment is earned. So if the writers are thinking about bringing Ty back in some way, it's not just for fan service, it would be for emotional payoff. It would be about bringing the story full circle. Whatever the truth is, the rumors and theories about Ty's return have given season 19 a whole new level of excitement. Fans aren't just watching for new storylines, they're watching for signs. A glimpse of Ty's old jacket, a mention of his name, a memory that seems just a little too vivid. Every small moment feels like a clue. So, what happens next? What are the new storylines we can expect in episode 1? And how could they be setting up something much bigger down the line? That's exactly what we'll break down next. As Heartland season 19 begins, we're stepping into a new chapter, not just for the show, but for every character we've come to love. And while the mystery of Ty Bordon's return still lingers, in the background, episode 1 of this new season is set to kick off fresh emotional journeys for the Fleming Bartlett family. These new storylines are grounded in healing, growth, and change, exactly what Heartland has always been about. Asterisk, let's start with Amy. For the past few seasons, she's been living with the weight of Ty's absence. Her life hasn't been the same, but episode 1 shows us something different. Amy is beginning to reclaim parts of herself that she lost after Ty's death. She's returning to horse training in a deeper way, not just as a job, but as a passion. And more importantly, she's starting to open her heart again. That doesn't mean a new love interest is coming right away, but it means she's allowing herself to feel joy, confidence, and purpose again. That's a huge shift for Amy and one that fans have been waiting to see. Amy's growth also connects to her role as a mother to Lyndy. In episode 1, it's clear that Lyndy is becoming more involved in ranch life. She's curious, bold, and already forming a bond with horses just like her mom and dad. But what makes this storyline so touching is how Amy sees Ty and Lyndy. Every small action, every look, every moment reminds her of the men she lost. That emotional tension is going to shape much of season 19. Lyndy isn't just Amy's daughter, she's also a living memory of Ty. And that connection could be the key to whatever happens next in Amy's story, especially if Ty appears in dreams or visions through Lyndy's point of view. Meanwhile, Jack is still the rock holding everyone together. In episode 1, we see him dealing with changes too. The ranch is evolving, and Jack knows he won't be around forever. That's why one of the most touching developments this season is his decision to mentor someone new. There's a new ranch hand arriving, young, quiet, clearly carrying emotional baggage. Sound familiar? Many fans are calling this a reflection of Ty's early days at Heartland. Jack sees something in this newcomer, just like he once saw potential in Ty. This mentorship storyline could become one of the strongest emotional threads of the season, especially if it reminds the family and the audience of how far they've all come. Let's talk about Georgie, who has been in and out of the show for a while. But all signs suggest she's returning in a bigger way this season. Episode 1 may hint at her comeback, possibly through phone calls or mentions. Georgie's dream of becoming an Olympic show jumper is still alive, and fans are hoping to see her balance ambition with her connection to the family. Her story has always been one of independence, but she's also deeply tied to the ranch. Her return could shake things up, especially if she brings news of personal struggles or new goals. And who knows, maybe she'd be the one who sees something in the new ranch hand, just like Amy once saw in Ty. Lou, as always, is juggling everything. In episode 1, we see her continuing her role as mayor, trying to balance public service with family responsibilities. There are hints that she's facing pressure from both sides. Her political role is demanding more of her time, and her family needs her just as much. This tension could create a storyline about burnout, personal identity, and finding where she truly belongs. There's also talk of unresolved feelings between Lou and Peter. Their on-again, off-again relationship still has emotional layers that haven't been fully explored. Could season 19 finally bring them closure, or maybe another chance? Episode 1 is also setting the stage for Tim and Jessica, whose marriage is facing some new stress. They're both strong-willed and passionate, which makes them a great couple but also creates conflict. Jessica's art career might be pulling her away from the ranch more often, and Tim has never been good at dealing with change. Their dynamic could show what happens when two people love each other deeply but still struggle to find balance. This storyline might not be the flashiest, but it's real, and that's what makes it feel true to Heartland's spirit. Another subtle but important detail in episode 1 is the focus on the land itself. There's mention of changing seasons, shifting responsibilities, and the future of the ranch. With Amy stepping back into her role, Lyndy growing up, and new people arriving, there's a quiet sense that Heartland is entering a new era. That's what makes this season feel so meaningful. It's not just about the past anymore, it's about what comes next. The land, the family, and the legacy are all evolving. And of course, there are little clues sprinkled throughout the episode that suggest Ty's presence is still very much alive, even if he's not physically there. A photo on the wall, a look in Amy's eyes, a story told to Lyndy at bedtime. These small moments are reminders that love doesn't end with death. It changes, it echoes, and sometimes it returns. As we move forward in season 19, every storyline feels like a piece of something bigger. Whether it's Amy learning to live again, Jack mentoring someone new, or Georgie chasing her dreams, It's all connected by the memories they share and the man they lost. Episode 1 sets the stage beautifully, and if the rumors are true, and Ty really does make an appearance this season, even just for a moment. It might be the most emotional payoff Heartland has ever given us. As season 19 begins to unfold, it's clear that the story belongs to more than just the characters. It belongs to the fans. For nearly 2 decades, Heartland has built one of the most passionate, loyal, and emotionally connected audiences in television. And now, with the return of Amy, Jack, Lou, and possibly even Ty in some form, fans are more active than ever, sharing theories, revisiting old episodes, and dreaming about what season 19 might bring. Social media has exploded with reaction videos, comment threads, and heartfelt posts. From the moment the trailer for season 19 dropped, fans started analyzing every frame, pausing to look at familiar locations, glimpses of the ranch, and expressions on Amy's face. Some are convinced that a Ty return is being teased, while others are simply hoping for closure. But no matter the opinion, everyone agrees on one thing: Tai Bordon's story isn't over. Across YouTube, fans are posting emotional edits of Amy and Ty, combining past scenes with hopeful music, adding captions like "What if he came back?" or "Still in our hearts." On Reddit and Facebook groups, longtime viewers are writing essays, sharing memories, and debating what kind of return would feel right. Some say they'd be happy with a dream sequence, others want a flashback, and a few are still holding out. Hope for something even bigger, a twist, a reveal, something bold.